Hello again, Mr. Fang. It's nice to see you back at the office.
Thanks.
So we've done your assessment, and you are having some good improvement with your gum, the bleeding issue that we saw last time when we were flossing your teeth. So I'm hoping that flossing is going a little bit easier for you. You want to tell me about how that's going for you at home?
It's good. It's just, sometimes at the end of the day, it's hard to set aside that extra time instead of just getting in bed.
Yeah, that's understandable. We're all tired at the end of the day. Well, I wanted to talk to you today about your toothbrushing technique, because that is also something that can help with the gingival inflammation there. So I would like you to, I know you brought your toothbrush in today. We have a lot of different toothbrushes that we can use on the market, and some of them are better than others, so I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that today. But why don't you just show me the toothbrush that you brought in that you're using at home?
Well, this one's been around for a little while. I need to get a new one, but that's what I've got for the moment.
Yeah, so that looks like a good toothbrush as far as the width is not too big. It's not going to be unruly in your mouth. You want to get a toothbrush that has between 3 and 4 rows of bristles here, and the most important thing is to have a soft bristle with a rounded tip, because that can fit into the sulcus around your teeth without abrading the tissue there and causing damage. So we don't want to have, more is not better in some respects. We want to be very gentle and have very, very gentle, very soft bristles here. So why don't you show me what you're doing with that toothbrush, your technique at home.
Okay. I won't be able to talk at the same time, but I'll just
That's
show
okay, you just show me. So I see that you're using pretty broad strokes in a circular fashion there, kind of over the scrubbing motion over the whole tooth. Have you ever had anybody talk to you before about toothbrushing techniques?
A little bit, yeah. When I visited my last dentist, they talked about it some, but they didn't really go in depth about it.
Okay. Well, I'm going to show you a technique that we like to use. It's called the modified Bass technique. And that is, let's see, let me find a good toothbrush here that's similar to yours. I don't want to use yours on my Typodont, so we're going to use this one here. So I remember when I was a kid, I also was shown that big circular motion by my dentist as the appropriate way to brush teeth, but we found a better way since then. So I'm going to show you the modified Bass technique. You want to find a toothbrush, as I said before, that has soft bristles that are rounded with a head that's about 2 or 3 teeth length. And I like to use these brushes here that have this toe, because I feel like that is a good way to get behind this last molar here into the tissue. So again, like I talked about with the flossing, we want to find a sequence that we're going to follow the whole time. So find a good sequence that works for you. I'm just going to start here on the back molar. Can you see what I'm doing here? So we're going to use that toe to just get back here, and you want the bristles to fit into that sulcus. Can you see how they're just fitting right into the sulcus there? And we're just going to do these short little vibratory motions. And if you have if you switch to an electric toothbrush at home, then the electric toothbrush is going to be doing this for you. So you just want to make sure that those bristles are getting in there. The other thing is, you mentioned that your toothbrush is a little bit old, so you're going to want to update your toothbrushes, because once the bristles splay out like that, they're not able to reach into the sulcus. So this technique requires us to put the toothbrush at about a 45-degree angle. Can you see how it's fitting right into there? So that the bristles are going just right into the gums there, and a little bit in between here, in between the teeth. And then we're not going to do big sweeps. We're just going to make a short little vibratory motion for about 6 to 10 seconds. And then the modified part of this technique is this sweep here. So we're just going to vibrate and sweep in that sulcus all the way around. 6 to 10 seconds, and you'll have a little bit of overlap when you're moving around the arch here. And then you'll do the inside, the part where we change the angle of our toothbrush is right here in the front, because that's pretty narrow for a lot of people. It's hard to get in there like this. You can see how there's really no way for you to get the bristles down into the sulcus.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to want to switch your toothbrush to be going like this. And again, with those little vibratory motions in there and sweeping it out. After you've done the outside and the inside of the top and the bottom, we're going to make sure that we don't forget these areas here. And with that, you just do sort of a scrubbing back and forth. These areas are really prone to cavities because of these fissures and pits. And when you were a child, you may have even gotten some sealants in those areas to help keep out cavities. And we want to make sure that we're not missing those areas. And then at the end, you can brush your tongue, because that's also an area for biofilm buildup. And you can start in the beginning to avoid triggering your gag reflex. About how many times a day are you able to brush your teeth?
I always do at night, and I sometimes do in the morning.
Okay. Well, that's a good start, because we want to make sure that we're at least removing the biofilm every 24 hours to prevent that plaque from turning into calculus. And especially on your back molar teeth here, there are some salivary glands that increase the calculus buildup on your back teeth. So you want to make sure that you're really getting into those areas. And I like to floss before I brush my teeth, because that breaks up the biofilm in between, and that enables the fluoride from the toothpaste to get into those areas. So, and what a lot of people don't know is that actually your teeth can be in sort of this constant flux of demineralizing, which is the beginning phase of cavity development, and remineralizing. So if we get to those areas before they have turned into cavities, if they're just demineralizing, we can reverse that process and remineralize them. So we want to make sure that we are removing any of the biofilm where we would be able to have some fluoride contact those areas. Do you have any questions for me today?
No, that all sounds good.
All right. Thanks for coming in. I'll see you in 6 months.
Great.